Today I'm making some mocha kitty artisans. I started by designing a 3D model based on the original concept from Keys. The idea was a cute little kitty relaxing in a warm mug of mocha. From the beginning, I planned to keep the mug empty so later I could pour in a shiny resin layer to make it look like actual cocoa. And here we have the 3D printed master, which I used to create a master mold. Once that cured, I made copies of the sculpt and used those to create multiple molds for casting. That way I can work on a whole batch at once. If you're making silicone molds, I highly recommend a pressure pot to get rid of air bubbles. Now I'm mixing custom resin colors to match the mocha key set palette, filling in each detail one by one. I try to carefully place the resin into the mold and let it fully cure before moving on to the next section. This way everything stays crisp and clean. And the whipped cream dollop is probably my favorite part of this design. I know a lot of you guys love the food inspired touches, and somehow my food artisans are always the first to sell out. Also, a little trick I've been using is rolling an adhesive dot onto my toothpick to clean up those hard to reach areas. This really helps to pick up any dust or resin splatters without damaging my molds. And now it's time to pour the beige body layer, and you'll see me gently poke the tail part, and this is just to release the little air bubbles that like to get trapped inside. The final resin layer always makes me a little nervous because I have to mix thoroughly but also work very quickly. When you're mixing a larger amount of resin, it can heat up and really flash cure if you're not careful. While they're curing, I always think about how something that started as a tiny idea in my head is about to become a real physical object. It's kind of surreal, and no matter how many times I do this, I never really know how it'll look in the end. I always worry if my vision or color choices were good enough, but through the years, I've learned to trust the process and just focus on what I can control in the moment. As I was demolding these kitties, I thought they looked so adorable, but unfortunately, I did notice that almost all of them had tiny air bubbles along the edge of the mug. So to fix this, I mixed a little bit more resin, filled in the holes, and sanded it down. The most satisfying part was pouring the resin cocoa into the mug. It was tricky because I had to move fast but still worked neatly. I kept accidentally splattering resin onto the kitty and was trying so hard to keep her pristine. I honestly felt like a barista working during a rush, trying to pour the perfect drink without making a mess. And after working on these mocha kitties for about a whole month, these were finally ready to go to their new homes. Here's how they look paired with Osame's mocha keycaps. I think this design was perfect for the holidays, and I'll definitely have to make more mug artisans in the future.